Okay, so today is the day that I'm having my operation, and I thought, seeing it was the day before the operation, I'd record how my boobies are looking now to date, because you saw them first of all when I'd first had the other operation, and I think from memory I had the bandages on, but I don't have the bandages on anymore. I just have a little bit of plaster left. So I thought that I would show you how it's improved since in that 2 weeks. So I had the operation 2 weeks ago. Today I'm going in for the mastectomy, and it's funny, yesterday I was having a very nervous day yesterday, and probably the day before that, knowing that it had suddenly come around quite quickly. And I know that I just started to feel nervous. I've been very positive, to be honest, probably up to the point of, well, we just have to do this, we have to get this done. I have to travel this journey. I have to actually do everything I can to get the cancer out of my body. I've got beautiful surgeons. I've got beautiful family. I can't tell you what it's like having a support team, and it keeps making me think about people who don't. I have Robert there at my side 24/7. Whenever I need him, he's right there. He's supportive. When I feel down, he picks me up. If I feel happy, he'll laugh with me. He's been just brilliant, and I don't know how I actually would have gotten through this whole process without him, being really honest. But every time that happens, every time I have him there, when I have a bad moment, I just keep thinking about other women. I cannot help thinking about how this is affecting somebody else. If they don't have anybody with them, then how are they getting through this journey? And that's actually really affecting me quite a bit. I can't stop thinking about that whole thing. And yeah, so and the other person that's been really great also is having Fiona with me. Fiona Harrison is a friend of mine. She's a colleague. She's a photographer and a good friend, and she had breast cancer before me. And I've got to be honest, 3 o'clock in the morning, I've started doing this thing where I wake up every morning between 3 and 5, and I don't know why I'm doing it, but I just do. And I sort of have that thinking time and that peace time then. And she's been on Facebook around the same time, so apparently she wakes up around that time as well. And it's been funny, but being able to speak to her, being able to just, without having to explain how I feel, being able to have somebody at the end of the other line and just be able to talk to them immediately, I've actually found that really, really, really invaluable. And it started to get me thinking about what I'd like to do with this documentary, because when I decided to shoot the documentary, I had an idea that I just wanted to get this all out. I had an idea that I just wanted to be able to share it with other women who were perhaps going through it and starting their journey, and they don't know what's coming up next. And maybe I could ease the way through by trying to show what I've had, which will be very different from everybody else, but there are some women who are going to go through exactly the same thing as I am. But we all handle it very differently, I get that. But at least perhaps if I ease the way through, it may not be quite as scary as it has been, because you can see somebody else physically going through it at the same time, or just been through it before you. And that's the comfort that I've got through Fiona, because she's just been through it herself. It's kind of like any questions I suddenly have, it's great to be able to actually go and speak to her about it. Yeah, it's been really... It's been really, really, really great having her there. And, she doesn't know all the answers, and she's not giving me the medical side of things. It's not the medical side I want. It's probably more, Fiona, how are you feeling? How are you feeling when, after you had the chemotherapy, how tired did you get? How are you feeling? Did you get tired? Did it make you very sick? And I know that medicine has progressed since she's had hers, because she's just had around a 5-year clearance, I believe, but which is wonderful. And it has progressed a lot. That's, again, another reason for doing this sort of self-documentary. It's just so that you can see now, in 2013, what the procedures are and how much more up-to-date it is. And that's another reason for doing this recording this as I go along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I've progressed in the operation. So I'm just going to stand up. So, okay, here we go. So you can see what's happened now. It's gotten a bit dry skin, but that's the, you know, the reduction. That's the reduction. That's where it's got to. And here is a little bit messy because I went from an F cup down to a D cup, and so that's a little bit messy there. But Hamish, the plastic surgeon, has said because we've got 2 more operations to go, he can make that even neater just in here, which is great. And it's healed very nicely. I find it a little bit strange, being honest, seeing as I normally have this kind of nipple and areola. I find it a little bit strange having a sort of a more oval nipple and areola, but you know, I'm grateful that I've got anything. So that's fantastic. And then this is how this part has cleared up. So you can see it's still swollen. It's very, it's sort of still a little bit bruised around here, but this is after 2 weeks. So I think really the healing has been really, really great. In 2 weeks, it's been fantastic. And this doesn't hurt. Honestly, it doesn't hurt at all. The thing that hurts is actually the thing under my arm. So there you go. So that's just showing you. So that's just showing you where it's up to now. How am I feeling before going into the surgery today? I'm actually feeling. Yesterday, I think I had my moments. Today I'm feeling pretty good. Today I'm thinking I've got my onward and upward cap on, I think. And I think it's because that's how I cope. Now I know that I'm doing this for myself, for the children, for my husband. And I'm definitely a little bit scared. I'm definitely a bit nervous. But in my heart I feel good about it, because I know this is where the cancer comes out. So I think the thing that I'm probably most scared about, interestingly enough, is not the mastectomy. The thing, because I'm a photographer, the thing that I seem to be hanging up in my head is having the auxiliary sentinel clearance, which is, I think it's taking out the 50 lymph nodes from under my arm here. That seems to be in my head bothering me the most, because being a photographer, I'm a bit afraid of contracting lymphedema. And lymphedema is the thing where your arm can swell because of taking out all the nodes, the lymph nodes under your arms. Your arm can swell, you can get frozen shoulder. I'll probably have to do physio regularly, probably for the rest of my life. You know, maybe home physio, but just on myself or whatever, but you know, and keep those clothes cleared. But it bothers me because that's my shooting arm, and also I'm left-handed. So, you know, if I this thing of having a swollen arm and maybe not being able to use it as much, and of course my cameras are really, really, really heavy, so I'm constantly picking up the camera and doing this, and apparently that's something that's not great for lymphedema when you over-exercise it. So it's funny, isn't it, how things affect everybody differently. Most people would think I'd be, you know, terrified of having the mastectomy and then the reconstruction, but at the moment it doesn't appear to be that to me that seems to be bothering me. It's really the lymph node clearance. So yeah, I think we're all very, I know we'll all take things very differently, but I just thought I'd share how I was feeling going into the operation today. So today I feel good. Tomorrow after the operation could be a different story. And I am nervous about losing my breast, and I am having something a little bit different, and this is new as well. So again, I don't know that it's out everywhere yet, but I'm having an implant underneath the pectoral muscle called an aeroform, and it's a pretty new expandable bag, you know, that they put it underneath the pectoral muscle. And instead of going and having a saline fill expandable bag, it's going to expand the skin under the mastectomy, so that I can actually, it's going to expand the skin under the on the mastectomy side, so that and I think that's over the course of the next 6 weeks, and that's so that I can then have an implant put in. But I have to have the implant put in after all the radiation's been done and after all the chemo's been done. And I think that's because radiation obviously hardens implants so that they're really that you know, that it renders them not being very nice at the end. So I think that's actually why they do the implant right at the end, the proper implant. So this expandable bag will stay with me for maybe the next 3 to 6 months. So they put it in, it's under the pectoral muscle. Normally you have to go to your surgeon, and you have to go and have an injection into your breast where they fill the bag with saline. But this is new, this is different. You don't have to go to your GP. The bag is filled with CO2, and you have a remote control, which I'll show you when I come back and I start expanding the breast. I'll actually come and show you that. And so what you do is that you actually just, with a remote control, you fill up a little bit of air every day, and the air is set, so you can't overexpand yourself, which is great, because that was a bit of a concern with mine. Well, what can I put too much in? But actually it's a controlled amount of air, and it's a very small amount that you put in every day, and that slowly expands your breast skin, so that they can then put the proper implant in afterwards. And that's phenomenal, because it means I don't have to go to the surgery as much. I still have to go, obviously, to be checked along the way and make sure everything's fine, but I certainly don't have to go every week or anything like that. And also, because they're not putting saline in, I believe that it's a more gentle process of expanding the skin, because it's daily. I don't have to overexpand the skin and be so uncomfortable every time they put saline in it. So it's great that I don't have to have that, and that we're trialing this new expandable prosthesis in this operation. So I'm actually pretty excited about that, because I think that's I'm already going to have to know that with radiation I'm going to have to go every day, and that's going to be hard work. I think it's 5 times a week I have to go. I get, as Caroline said, I get weekends off for good behaviour, but I do have to go 5 times a week, and I think that's going to be pretty exhausting. But anyway, that's where I'm up to today. Today is the 1st of August, and yeah, we'll see. I'll let you know how I go when I come back from hospital. I am going into hospital probably in an hour's time, and I will be there for somewhere between 3 to 5 days apparently, and I think I have to stay a bit longer now because of doing the sentinel clearance. I think that's the accelerated sentinel clearance, that I have to have drainage tubes in my arm, and I think that's possibly why I have to stay a bit longer, but I'll tell you more when I get back. Okay, wish me luck.